out of jail, they have work release. You just can't give certain people certain things. If you want to give people certain people, you might as well give everybody that privilege to change around.
Well, it seems to me that if, you know, if they are being paroled and released or up for parole or work release, you know, after having served their sentence, you know, that you know, you have to give some sort of an opportunity to succeed with the rest of your life because the debt's been paid. But now I'm hearing, you know, it's obvious.
It's all the same game because it all goes back to keeping those beds filled up.
Right.
Because being the fact of dramatic decline in crime, the people are not coming, so now we got to keep away. Like, I know numerous examples of guys that went to prison and had a tremendous behavior, earned all the certificates you're going to earn, and they still go to parole board and get hit. They have to do maybe 10 more years. And it's all because of that whole holding back policy, the quota thing. Like, okay, listen, we know he sounds good, but he got to stay and he got to keep this bed open. They had, I believe it was somebody, okay, let me see, it was before Patterson, it was, I'm sorry, what was
Spitzer?
Spitzer, and then it was Pataki. Yeah. So they had, I think, when Pataki made it first come into office, they had a lady up for parole. I don't even remember her name, and I think she went to prison for murder of police. She had something to do with a bank robbery that turned into a murder of a police officer, and they had granted her parole. I understand the supervisor all of a sudden just either was not fired or just resigned out of suddenly because Pataki's like established they didn't like that, the fact that they let her out, even though she had a good jail behavior or whatever. So it's like, it's just proving to, like, no matter what you do, if they feel like, no, you need to stay in it, you're going to keep running, so that's how it all intertwines.
Nature of the crime is a big part of the reason why so many people who are doing really well while being incarcerated are denied parole. And it's a very frustrating part for families who've been working very hard, who've been doing everything for the person, and then because of a violent felony conviction, they're hit with parole over and over again. And this is a huge issue with people, and people really want to move towards less incarceration, and if we have to take steps to really look at the policies that we have and see if they make sense, are they sensible, are they actually helping people and rehabilitate and return to be a productive member of society. And what we're seeing is not only are these not working, but they're also really expensive. With the work release program, it costs $7,500 per year to have that program versus $55,000 just to incarcerate somebody. At the same time, they pay taxes out of the employment, out of the wages that they get.
I didn't realize that.
In addition to that, they are helping organizations, and they're getting experience, are able to transition safely back into the community. And these are things, and in '94, there were 27,000 people under work release. And with that being cut, now we have, I don't know, around 2,000, 3,000 people right now. And because of they added, they said, violent felony offenders cannot, if you even had in the past any violent felony conviction at any point in the past, you're not eligible to do parole. And we can't keep making policies out of fear. We've seen what the policies of fear has gotten us. And with the great improvement of the Rockefeller reforms, we can see that we can take active steps. We can make sensible approaches towards public safety, so we can save money, we can make our community safer. And we're here, everybody cares about the community being safe, and we care about people returning home to their families. There are thousands of people, thousands of children whose parents are incarcerated, and they're forever waiting for their parents to be granted parole, and this is people's lives. You know, and I really wish the assembly member was here. People here, you know, are among us, formerly incarcerated folks, and we're here to really speak for the people who are currently incarcerated, who can't speak for them. And it's really important that you take, you know, our platform seriously. It's more than the money. It's about people's lives.
Right. Well, we can't have a, you know, as a country or a state, we can't have a system of economy based on the imprisonment of a section of our, and call ourselves a free country. Yeah. I mean, I saw a film, and you're making a film, but I saw a film a few years ago that was done by an independent filmmaker on the system in, I believe it was the state of Georgia, somewhere in the South, and how, you know, it's the prison system down there is in the system of, you know, of prisoners being used for work goes back to even to the time of the chain gangs, you know, and it's just, it's like that, it's part of their economy. So they have no reason to try to make sure that these people are rehabilitated and put back and can succeed into a society, because then they'd be losing, you know, so it behooves them as a system to keep these people incarcerated.
It's like, I'm sorry, sure.
No, you know, and this is bringing those, you know, those ideas back to me as you know, something that's happening in our own state.
Yeah, in New York State, they make their license plates in prison.
Yeah.
As well as numerous other things.
But like you say, you know, because the prisons are such focal points of many upstate communities, and having, you know, they can't have empty beds, so they've got to come up with quota systems and curfew systems and what have you to ensure that people are recycled back in. And
Amazing.
It's not a it's not a policy for a healthy society to undertake, I don't think. And I will talk to him about that, and I appreciate your advocacy and your coming up here and doing this. And I know that it's an uphill battle because there is a stigma attached, you know, to prisons.
Yeah, people don't, you know, they say, you know, our taxpayers' money is going to help prisoners, you know, get their education, and, you know, they, you know, they're coming back 10 years, they're back outside, you know, and I work with homeless men, they're coming into the shelters, into the city shelters. I mean, we have to do better as a society, you know, to help people transition back.
Yeah, so once, you know, the time in the prison is gone up, you know, is over, and there's time for parole. There has to be a transition system, as you said, to help people move into the next step, so they're not in the shelter, or they're not back in the prison, or they're not.
Exactly. I mean, I'm trying to get. I don't want to see drug dealers in my neighborhood. I want a good neighborhood, and I'm for that. Mm-hmm. Even though but when you go in, it has to be something in there, correction. Right. Some kind of correction.
Yeah,
you know, where
it's a good point.
Where they come back out corrected. And we're not really providing that.
I just want to make one final point.
Yes.
I work at a community-based agency, and I'm just for taking some of the money from the prison system, putting it back into the community, educating people who come out of jail, housing them, and giving them a purpose when they get out. So I just want to say that.
Yeah.